interviewed 14 successful home-based food business operators from several different states all over the U.S. and selling everything from cakes, donuts, to biscuits, even a hot sauce business. We're going to run down the best advice they gave us after our 14 different interviews. We're going to dive into that right here in Marketing Food Online right now. All right, so welcome back to Marketing Food Online. It's Damian Roberti, and you definitely want to hit the subscribe button if this is your first video. We have all kinds of food business entrepreneurship resources and videos, tips and tricks, books, and everything you can think of. I am actually a food entrepreneur and I have been for over 14 years owning my own business. I operate out of our commercial kitchen with my wife. We've been online for quite some time now, selling close to $2 million just on our Amazon store alone. And we make everything to order, and it has been a huge roller coaster, learning a lot of great stuff along the way. But today, we actually talked to 14 different home-based food entrepreneurs and asked them what is some of the best advice, the greatest advice they could give us to put here on our channel for you, the potential home-based food-based business entrepreneur as well. Sorry. So we're going to go from number 14 down to number 1. These are in no particular order. But number 14, so this was Chloe, and we're not going to actually dive into last names just for privacy. We appreciated their time and effort to talk to us, but we're just going to give you guys their first name and what they do and what state they're in. So Chloe actually operates a pound cake bakery. She is in Louisiana, and she said, keep your workplace clean and documented. Now, I had a surprise inspection once, and being organized saved my business from being shut down. This was actually something I could attest to as well. You definitely want to make sure you stay on top of your permits and be sure that you're on time with renewing them every year. That is something that could be a big problem when you want to get your inspections done, because if you do, in some cases, have a business from home, maybe even a separate kitchen, you will be inspected for sure. And that's definitely something you want to keep in mind. Number 13, Maria does custom cookie maker. She was actually out of Arizona. And she said, quote, take great photos. So my cookies always tasted amazing, but clear, well-lit photos made them actually look irresistible online. So you want to invest in lighting because it definitely pays off. That is another great tip as well. If you're not good at taking pictures, definitely find a course online. Check out some of our videos here on our channel, but making really good pictures and images is definitely something you need to keep in mind. That absolutely helps you sell even more, because it's a real challenge if you're not actually if you're not going to a bakery and physically seeing the product. Being online, making sure that your images are clear and really vibrant and make people almost salivate, that is something that's really important in selling online. Number 12, Ben was a biscotti baker, cookie baker out of Pennsylvania. So get feedback outside of your friends. I actually joined a local farmer's market and learned what flavors customers actually buy versus what I liked baking. Number 11, we had Katie. She was actually a macaron artist out of Washington. Be patient. It took me months to master macarons, humidity, oven temperature, everything matters. Don't quit after a few cracked shells. So definitely something, being persistent. Let me tell you, being an entrepreneur for 14 years, day in and day out, persistence and the fact that you're sticking to it, stick-to-itiveness, and your dedication to your craft is very important, because a lot of people just give up if they run into a simple bump in the road. So definitely something you want to stick to. Number 10, Omar, a donut baker actually out of Chicago, Illinois. This one, he said, track your costs from day one. Once I used a spreadsheet to log ingredient prices, I realized I could actually save 15% by buying in bulk. So definitely want to keep track of your costs from day one. This is actually a tax advice as well. Something that I figured out the hard way. One year we were behind on our taxes in filing them, but you definitely want to stay on top of all your receipts and your invoices and all your vendors. Number 9, Rachel. She was actually a cake designer in North Carolina. She said, learn to say no. This was actually really an interesting conversation. I used to take every custom cake order and missed so much family time. Specialize in what you love and set clear boundaries. That's really important too. I actually fell into the trap, me and my wife, with this one when we had our bakery, our retail bakery. But willing to basically, meet everyone's needs and try to make everyone happy doesn't work. You'll get burnt out really quick. Number 8, this was a really important legal one. This was Linda. She was a gluten-free baker out of Colorado. Don't skip insurance. Now, even small home bakers, believe it or not, can be sued if someone claims a reaction. I sleep better knowing that I'm covered because of my insurance. Definitely something that's worth it. I mean, I'll tell you guys right now, the average insurance policy, my insurance policy, costs me around $30 a month. And I mean, if you definitely want to check it out, down below, I can give you some links. You can check out some of the insurance. It's definitely a lot of people who don't realize it. Even though you have cottage food laws or home-based business laws, they don't protect you unless you have insurance. Number 7 was Aaron. He was actually a muffin maker from Michigan. He said, quote, test your recipes for shelf life. My muffins tasted great on day 1, but were dry by day 3. So adjusting moisture content and storage fixed that. You definitely want to know, by the way, guys, even if you're selling at a farmer's market, how long does your product last? Because if you put a product out there and you don't have a best by date or something to give the customer a reference, and they 2 or 3 days later go in to eat them and they're dry, they might see you again at the farmer's market the following week and may not buy from you because they are just gross. They just dried out. So number 6 was Tasha. She was a pie baker actually out of northern Georgia. She said, quote, label everything properly. I once forgot to include allergens on a label and had to pull a full batch from sale. Now, you learn your local cottage food rules early on, so you don't make that mistake. Number 5, Emily. She was a brownie seller out of California. Actually, this was in San Diego, if I'm not mistaken. Quote, social media matters more than you think. I started showing behind-the-scenes videos, and my orders went from 10 a week to 60 in a month. That is something I would definitely attest to. Any from Instagram, Facebook, any of these outlets, you want to offer some short videos. They are huge to building a brand. Number 4, Daniel. He was a cheesecake maker out of New York. Quote unquote, keep ingredients consistent. He said, I switched cream cheese brands once and my texture changed. Customers noticed instantly. So consistency builds trust. You definitely don't want to cut corners. Now, if you alter recipes, maybe you're just changing the flavor profiles or adding an additional ingredient. Make sure, though, that it's as close to your original one as possible because people will notice. Number 3 was Jessica. She was a cookie decorator actually out of Florida. She said, quote, don't price like a hobbyist. Once I factored in my time, packaging, and ingredients, I realized I was making $3 an hour. Wow. Charge what your product is worth and don't be afraid to do so. Number 2 was Mark. He was an artisan bread maker actually out of Oregon. He said, never underestimate packaging. I thought taste alone would actually sell my sourdough, but clean branded bags made my loaves look premium and it could double my sales at the markets. That is something that is definitely 100% true. Even in grocery stores, when the package sticks out and stands out, looks more premium, people perceive more value. And number 1, Sarah, who's a cupcake baker in Texas. This was actually in just south of Houston. Quote, start small. I wanted to offer 20 flavors right away, and it nearly burned me out. Stick to about 3 to 5 signature cupcakes, she said, until you perfect your process and build repeat customers. So